want to talk about this physical world again, and beliefs, and religion. Now, obviously, I know the most about Christianity. I'm not hopping on Christianity, that's just the one I'm most familiar with. When you are in your dream world, how often are you seeing a bunch of religion? I really feel like the physical world was used to indoctrinate people with a bunch of false information. A bunch of false information. To tell you that you need something else to save you. Okay? Whatever that is. Okay, to tell you that you need something else to save you. And you carry all these beliefs back with you. If you don't clear them out, if you don't, change the mindset. By the way, I know that a lot of times in the conscious community, in other areas too, there's a lot of talks about what people were prior to incarnating as a human being, what you were way before that. The problem is for me, it seems like what I'm starting to see is that in order to really upgrade the DNA, you really have to detox everything that you learn. You got to go back to knowing nothing. You literally have to go back to knowing nothing. I think a lot of these codes and a lot of this stuff that's going on with the DNA has to do with the mind, and a lot of stuff that we hold on to that's in the mind. And I do say the mind because, the mind is not mine. The mind is an illusion. It's an illusion. And I'm a little sick of the physical world because it's like I have to hold on to the mind. As long as I'm in the physical world, I have to interact with the mind, which is not even real. It's like the ego. Not even real. But I have to keep engaging with it. I was in my room one time, and I remember this saying that Muji said. The mind needs you, you don't need it. The mind actually needs you. When people take these ayahuasca and all these different mushrooms and whatever, and they disconnect from the mind, they are so fucking free, aren't they? Now, I'm not promoting that now. I've never taken it before, so I'm not promoting it because I've never taken it. I wouldn't promote it. Okay, because I don't know what's going on with everybody to even promote something like that. That might not be a good idea for just anybody to keep taking. Okay, but what I'm saying is a lot of times they say they disconnect from the mind and they feel free. They are free of worry. They are free of everything that they worry about when they are connected back to that mind. When they take those mushrooms or that ayahuasca, whatever they taking, they disconnect. They more into the spirit. They feel like they know everything. They feel like they have no worries at all. It's like they disconnect from the physical world. Okay? It was one guy I listened to, because this was around the time, this was like, what was it? I don't think it was last year. I think it might have been maybe the year before, or very, very early last year, when I started to realize I was in virtual reality. Not just, what you people call holographic, but literally virtual reality. And this guy, I just typed in the search engine in YouTube, or I just typed in, man talks about how he saw the Matrix, because I did see where a guy took one of those drugs or whatever and he saw the Matrix. He saw all the patterns and the numbers and all that stuff, right? I was trying to look for that video again, but somebody else uploaded his video. I don't know his page because somebody else saw that and they put it on their page and uploaded it. And so I couldn't find it again. But what I did find was this one guy. Now, I remember his page name. I never watched him before, but I remember him. He's a young guy. His name is Pro Boxing or something like that. I don't know anything else about his channel. I don't watch him. But he came up. And the title of it was called I Saw the Matrix. It was in all caps. I Saw the Matrix. And I think the thumbnail, the way it looks, is like this pinkish kind of color. I can't remember. It's like kind of a bright color. And he started talking about how he started taking this drug and stuff. But he'd been on the spiritual path for a long time, so that's what he said. So he took it this one time, and I guess he went a little far. And so he talked about how he started to see, like when he came out the studio or something, and he got into the car with, I guess, his friend. When he came out the studio, he was in the passenger seat, and his friend was in the driver's seat, and his friend looked like just a big lump of clay. Big lump of clay. I was about to call it gray because that's the way I see it, gray clay. Okay, but he saw a big lump of clay or something, like something's hooked up to this. It's like not even real, not even a real person. And then they went to go pick up his cousin, and then when they went to go pick up his cousin, he said his cousin, he just started to pixelate right in front of him. This is when he took that drug, because he disconnects from the mind. So he was outside the matrix. So he saw things for what it was. And so his cousin started to pixelate. Now I've seen that too during meditations. I've seen the pixelations, like these little things, these nanobots like moving around and stuff like that. I've seen that. So he said his cousin started to pixelate. I mean, that's what I feel now, because I'm starting to feel stuff going on. And so when I feel myself starting to depixelate, when I shut down my ego more, I feel myself doing that too. But, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I just wanted to explain that little bit right there. Okay. So yeah, so I started talking about, they need you to have all these different beliefs. So you can be trapped, because when you die and you still have all those beliefs on you, you are literally trapped in a certain, like you're trapped in even when you, I'm tired of saying that word, so I'm used to saying the word die. Transition. When you transition out of the physical world, all those different beliefs and all those different stuff stay with you. Okay, but then what happens is when that particular soul goes again and reincarnate again, they're not reincarnating as that same person to remember what they did before. They are somebody completely different that don't even remember that stuff, to keep trapping you. But the stuff from that life, from that person, when they transition and then that soul goes and reincarnate again, all that stuff goes to carry with the soul that reincarnated again. It's like the karma. It keeps attaching, holding you down. That's what I mean by the physical world is a trap. The physical world is a trap. I don't believe prior to this physical world, I really don't believe that all that karma was really going on like that. Okay? I believe you get into the physical world and you pass and you have all this karma. The ancestral line, all that stuff going on, stuff that they did. Okay? What else was I going to say? I want to say this thing I was thinking about acting, singing. You know how in this particular physical world, a lot of times to really make it big in whatever you're doing, you have to sign a lot of different kinds of contracts. You got to be a part of something. A lot of times, if you want to go big, they require blood sacrifices of some kind, something like that. Okay. When you are in a dream or whatever like that, when you're in a dream and you see yourself, whatever you want to do you remember having to do all of that? Do you remember having to do all of that in a dream? Having to go through all that trouble. And if you do remember that, it's probably because of some other life that you don't carry that karma with you. Because now you're carrying stuff with you from other physical incarnations, and all these beliefs that you held on to that was true, that was in those other physical lives that you thought was real. You do carry them with you after you transition, and then you might carry it with you in the dream world. But to me, it seemed like it comes from the physical world, and you carry it with you after you transition, and even sometimes in the dream world, you carry it with you. But they didn't exist prior to that. I don't think in the dream world, you need all these blood sacrifices to do what you want to do. If you want to sing, rap, or play sports, whatever it is you want to do acting. I don't think it requires those blood sacrifices and stuff like it does in this world. See, I just feel like you got these, and you're doing blood sacrifices for these other entities. These other entities, other families that want to still control the world, I guess. And they got to continue to feed their gods. That's what they call their gods. And so they give these people these sweet deals and say, well, you got to sacrifice so-and-so, but it's really to keep their gods alive. Okay? So I feel like this physical world is not beneficial to me. I don't think the physical world is to benefit me. I think it's to benefit something else that wants to make sure I get trapped to all the shit that I done been through in this world. Now, I've been through stuff in the previous incarnation too that I've seen that I remember now. Always happens in the physical, then that karma still carries with me. Got to get rid of it. But, excuse me. But, yeah. It's like they need you to be here. I don't need to be here. They need me to be here to keep piling stuff on me in every physical world, to keep piling all this stuff for me to carry back so I can never rise up, because you're going to have all that baggage on you. Okay? Okay? And if you end up having to come back again, and people keep saying, I'm not coming back. Well, it's not really that simple. You got to get to a level of knowledge. What exactly that you have to know, that I don't know, but I do think you can do. I think a main thing, this is just what I'm believing. I don't know if that's true, but I believe the main thing is to get rid of the belief of the physical world. Release that. I really feel like it's release attachments to the physical world. Release all attachments to the physical world. When you in your ego, when you're in the physical world, we're using this mind and we're in the ego. And we have attachments on us no matter what anybody else say. You have attachments on you. When you're in the ego, you have attachments on you. I don't care if your life is great. I don't care if you get money. I don't care if you have a great life. You have attachments. You're attached to the physical world. If you are attached to the physical world, you have attachments. Those are entities that are using you and making it seem like it's you that's enjoying all this stuff. And those are attachments. Those are entities that need to attach to you. They need you in this illusion so they can attach to you, and they can either cause you suffering or cause you, so you really believe it's all you, but those are attachments. And then you carry it with you because you believe it's you, so you carry it with you when you pass on, when you transition. I'm not going to say pass on, transition. You keep them with you. If you believe that was actually your life. Okay, so I believe one way is just to release attachment to the physical world and to see things for what it is, to understand the truth. I think the physical world is a real death, and I think what you call transition is real life. Here's why. Look, I'm gonna use an example as my as some of my patients, right, and myself too. How often are you having periods in your dreams? How often? When people transition out of the physical, they could have died. They could have had heart attacks. They could have had a problem with their heart. They could have had diabetes. They could have had hip replacements, whatever. Are they having those ailments when they transition, or are they just moving around just fine? Like my father passed away 2015, had an aneurysm. I believe if he would have lived, I'm glad that he signed a do not resuscitate, because I believe had he lived, he would have been he would have been bedbound. He decided to transition. If something happens to me, I'm doing a DNR. I'm gonna do a do not resuscitate. Do not resuscitate. Do not do anything to keep me alive. Because when I saw him again, and I've seen him frequently, when I saw him again, obviously in other dimensions, in dreams and stuff, he's walking around just fine. But had he chose to be here, he would have been bedbound. Somebody would have had to take care of him. Okay? But people think that you should want to be here. But that's the attachments right there. That's the trap. That people feel like, oh, you just need to be here. Oh, you just need to be here. And do you notice when the family continues to mourn over you, and this happens a lot with celebrities, they continue to mourn over you, they pull in your energy, and then they keep the person that transition is keeping them from crossing over because of the loved ones pulling them back. You see, the physical world is a mess. It's a big mess. I had a patient, left leg amputated and the right leg is in the cast, right? But I bet you when she's dreaming, she don't have those kind of problems in her dreams. See, that's the physical world with that shit. The physical world has that kind of crap going on. Not anywhere else. Okay? If she passed away now, she's a young lady. If she was to pass away, she's not going to pass away like that. She's going to have both her legs. I'm telling you, this world is shit. I'm talking about the physical world. It's crap. I'm not saying that people can't enjoy themselves. See, that's the attachments right there. And it's fine if you enjoy yourself. It's fine if you enjoy yourself. But this is death. I don't care how much fun you have, this is death. This is death. And I'm not the first person to say that. I remember Bobby Hemmett saying it, but he ain't the only person that said it. The day you came in here is the day you died. Why are babies crying? Why do babies cry when they come out of the womb in the delivery room? They crying. They are crying. Okay? They crying. That soul is upset. Okay? But anyway, that's it, and I'll talk later.